I'm Cary Whitehead, class of 1968. I was the center and the middle linebacker. Being on that team taught me self-discipline, which is something I sorely lacked. Taught me how to set goals higher than I thought I could achieve, work hard to achieve them, and still have fun while I did it. And I think the reason I had fun was the camaraderie we had with the other team members. 3 members of that team are no longer with us: Weber Laughlin, Wiley O'Neill, and Haynes McBride. I'd say Weber's experience I described as the best example I've got of a character, but we had a few others. John Rimmers in particular, he was a year behind me. I gave him the nickname Tire Rim because I said he was as tough as a tire rim. John Cady, I mean, it was a tough group. And I don't mean that like mean, but I'm talking about physically tough. We played our arch nemesis, Whitehaven, who I think the school had beaten once in history. And they consistently won the Shelby County League by big margins. So we had beaten them one time a year or two earlier by the skin of our teeth. Well, we went on their field and just drubbed them. And that sort of got it going. We started believing, you know, we really can do this. We just beat the biggest, strongest, toughest team in the league. Then the third game, I dislocated my shoulder in the game against Bolivar, I think it was.
I remember Cary Whitehead's situation, and I remember, you know, tearing the jersey off of him, you know, when he was hurt.
And my shoulder locked in my rib cage, and they couldn't get it out. So I was stuck on the field, screaming. As most of the 7th and 8th graders of that era remember, they learned most of their great curse words from listening to me scream in pain.
The trainer for the other team ran out and put one foot on his head and one on his body and starts pulling on his arm, telling him he's going to get it back in place.
Our team doctor was a gynecologist, so he came out on the field and tried to get my shoulder relocated and couldn't. And then they went to get a stretcher, and we didn't have a stretcher.
And they said, we've got to get him off the field.
I can't remember who it was, said, you, and you, come with me, and I was one of the yous. And I went up and helped bring down half of a ping pong table, and that's what we carried Cary off the field on. But I'm sure he remembers being hurt, but not who carried him off the field.
Well, the next Monday at MUS by noon, I don't know exactly, but 3 or 4 stretchers had been delivered to the football team by alumni.
So anyway, that was the end of my season. Then Coach McMillan asked me to come into the press box with him, so I'd watch the games from up there and make suggestions. He seldom ever listened to me because he knew far more than I, but that's the way I spent the rest of the season.